85% of teenagers will suffer with acne, and 25% of them will have acne scars, which both of these cases are, they're a little bit heartbreaking because this is the time of your life where you're trying to fit in, where you want to be accepted. So this is probably the hardest time to deal with acne. We also have 20% of acne in adults. So this is more likely to happen with women, since most men suffer with this during their teenage years. It's also 60 million of people just in the United States have acne, and 20 million of them have acne scars. So one of the reasons that I wanted to really learn about acne and start to help with this concern is that I wanted to be able to help people, mainly because I know how much this affects people's self-esteem. So I wanted to be able to understand it. I wanted to be able to help and to guide people in the right direction, because this is one of the conditions that it's really going to affect. And it also happens, like I said earlier, during the time where teenagers, for example, they just want to be affected. It is also one of the more noticeable conditions. So this is why I've been really digging into this. So I mean, for regular skin, we all have hormones, we all have oil production, we all have dead skin, and we all have natural bacteria. So what is the difference with acne? So the difference with acne is that during stressful times, this could happen to everyone, but I'm going to tell you why you break out when you're more prone to this. So we all produce hormones whenever the skin has a skincare, sorry about that. Whenever the skincare has, whenever we go through different parts of our lives. So hormone is what causes to produce more of it. So oil is a factor in breakouts, and then we have dead skin. So the dead skin is gonna be 4 to 5 times more in acne sufferer than in a regular person that's not suffering with acne at the moment. So the dead skin is being shed more. So the combination of oil and this dead skin is gonna cause for the clogs in the pore, which it could either be open comedone, which would be a blackhead, or a closed. And it's normally in the closed comedones where we start to experience all the other extra stuff, the pimples and the cyst and the bacteria, and then it's going to break down the follicle, and then that's when you end up with scarring. So there are 2 types of acne: the non-inflammatory, which does take longer to clear. Blackheads and whiteheads, it could take up to 6 months because it's drier. Once we break down the pores in the closed comedones and we're going inside and we're exfoliating, it's a little bit easier. But in this non-inflammatory whiteheads and blackheads, normally it's stuck in there. So in this case, this is when extractions come in very handy. So facials are going to be your friend, microdermabrasion, chemical peels. And then in the inflammatory, this is when we have to be a little bit more gentle with the skin. We have to allow for the skin to heal, but this normally could be done a little bit faster, within 3 months, 90 days. So there's different grades of acne, and excuse me. Grade 1 would be the blackheads and whiteheads. Grade 2 would be blackheads, whiteheads, and inflammatory, and then grade 3. So it keeps getting progressively worse until you are in grade 4, which that's when you have the cysts or the nodules, which are the harder ones. These are usually the ones that are causing scarring and breaking the skin. So what do I take into consideration to help you manage acne? So first we have to see sensitivity. How sensitive is the skin? We can't start being aggressive when the skin is red. So this is one of the things that not only are we checking for sensitivity to because it's red, but also because you might be allergic to something. Then we check the acne type. Like I said, grade 1, even though it's less aggressive, and it's usually easier to deal with, it's the hardest or the longest treatments. And then we look into your skin type. So do you have oily skin? Do you have dry skin? If you have dry skin, then we do have to be gentler with the treatment, because the products are going to dry, so we don't want to over dry. So this might take a little bit longer if you have dry skin too. I also take into consideration the skin color. So the lighter you are, is usually your skin is more resilient, it accepts the treatments better. The darker you are, it's easier for you to hyperpigment, so we want to be gentler too. We also want to take into consideration your environment. So if you live in like a really extreme cold environment, or if you lived in a really hot environment, we also have to be gentler with the skin, because usually really hot or really cold means more dryness. We want to make sure that the other products that you're using are not pore clogging ingredients in there. So hair products, body products. If you still haven't signed up to my free list, so I do recommend that you go and sign up for this list. It is very hard for me to help you clear acne if you're still using other products that are going to clog your pores. I also take it into consideration medication that you are on. We look into like birth control. We look into certain medications that could cause. We look at your food. There's different foods that do cause acne. For example, anything that is high androgen food like peanuts, or high salt food. If you do have inflamed acne, then salt is critical, because the salt is going to be released through your pores, and it's going to irritate the acne even more. We also have to build resilience. So if your skin is very sensitive at the beginning, we have to work our way up into the treatment. We can't just give you the treatment and you are going to start the treatment right away. We're going to start with the basics. We're going to add time to the treatment and slowly build the resistance of your skin. And we also want to take into consideration that the body adapts. So as the body is adapting, we do want to change the treatment to make sure that it continues to change and to improve. And then the last thing that I take a look at is your habits. We want to make sure that you're keeping like your phone screen clean, that you're changing your pillowcase more often, that you are, if you play sports, that you are exercise, that you're washing your skin after you work out. So these are all things that we take into consideration. I will go into depth on each of them in future videos. I hope that this video has helped. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below or send me a direct message. Thank you so much for joining me today.